What's up, guys? As you might be able to tell, this is sort of a different setup. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some sex ed videos. Whenever I was a child, I was sex eded at. Actually, the schools never taught us about sex. They sort of taught us around sex. So they taught us about puberty. They had the boys go in one place and the girls go in another place. And they taught the boys about how they'd get fat fucking nuts. And they taught the girls that their lives, it was all downhill for them. That's what they learned on that day. That's what happens to girls, right? I don't know. They didn't teach us in sex ed what the girls were doing. They didn't teach us that the ladies were gonna have blood come out of their butthole. They didn't teach us that. I had to learn that by myself. Yeah, I don't really know why they segregate sex ed. I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. They never taught us about sex though. They sort of skipped over sex and then they talked about AIDS. They were like, you can't advocate that you use a condom, so just don't have sex. And then they talked about AIDS again later and said the same thing, except it was a room full of 17-year-olds. Is there a point government administrators and teachers and stuff where you just forget having been in high school? I don't think abstinence works very well because the kids at high school definitely have sex. So the first video we're gonna be looking at is by a children's channel, and it's a video with 22 views. So I'm confident that I'm the only person who is covering this. Where do babies come from? Family education for children, sex ed for children 5 to 8. There's a lot of oscillating sizes going on. Very interesting. I'm very intrigued. This is an interesting directorial, stylistic flair that is being added here.
I want to invite you and your family to relax as we journey into Jenny's warm and loving world.
It was story time, and this evening, Jenny had a very important question.
This guy sounds sort of like Tommy Wiseau. And he has no eyes or mouth or nostrils. His face is sealed shut by skin. He can't breathe or talk. This is a nightmare world that she lives in. It's not warm or comforting at all.
Where do babies come from?
Jenny's dad smiled and said,
That's a very good question, Jenny. Let me tell you about the wonderful world of true love.
There's a bunch of onion rings float across the screen. The wonderful world of true love.
We all are born little babies, and just like everything else in the world, we take time to grow.
See, the dog makes sense, but why do you have a baseball bat, an ice cream cone, a lollipop, and a ball? Those things don't grow over time. A lollipop specifically shrinks over time.
You can tell how strongly your mom and I feel about each other, can't you?
Jenny answered, looking at her parents.
Especially when I see you hugging each other.
Especially whenever I see you in the Red Realm.
But it doesn't come easily. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, we really fucking actually don't like touching each other very much. We're kind of disgusted by each other.
That's the reason why our parents told us to wait until we were grown up and got married to try this kind of love.
Hugging? You have to get married before you hug? Oh, that's... well, shiz. Oh man, am I gonna have to start a family with all those people that I hugged? That's a real funny situation. That would make for a good sitcom scenario, you know. Everybody you hug has to be part of your family. That's actually not funny, that's not a funny observation even. That's just unfunny, actually.
We hope that someday you and your future husband will make the same promise.
Well, you're making some assumptions about Jenny, okay? You're assuming Jenny's going to get a husband? What if Jenny doesn't want to poo out a big old baby? I don't want to poo out a big fat headed baby, to be honest. I don't expect other people to want to poo out babies. The big poos hurt, and a baby is probably one of the biggest poos of all.
Something special in men's bodies and in women's bodies.
The onion realm.
You already know that boys and girls are different in between their legs.
Of course I know that, Daddy.
Could you maybe go into some more detail about that in case somebody watching, I don't know, not everybody watching knows that. I mean, maybe you could go into more detail for some people that might not know the difference. I mean, not me per se, but perhaps somebody else, who might not.
The man and woman each has a kind of half of a puzzle.
So, I mean, okay, well, theoretically, what if the puzzle piece is sort of very crooked? What if the puzzle piece, bends down at, a 90-degree angle? I'm not, asking because it's not, related to me, but, theoretically, somebody watching that might be a concern of theirs. If NTK Tran could comment down below some answers to these questions, I'd really appreciate it. Actually, yeah, I would appreciate you getting back to me on this.
This gift can bring men and women lots of joy and also beautiful children if they wait until the time is right to use it. But if they open up this gift too early, it will make them sad.
So having sex, if you're not married and want to have children, it'll make you sad? I'm not sure about that. Maybe Stephen Crowder was actually right to wait till marriage. His name rhymes with Chowder, and Chowder's a good show, so he's probably a good guy. He's probably not a piece of shit.
Like the time you ate that peach that wasn't ripe.
Holding her tummy, Jenny said,
Oh yes, I got such a bad tummy ache.
Oh no, the radioactive peach. I don't think eating an unripe peach would give you a bad tummy ache. I feel like it just tastes bitter and sour. Why would you eat that? Did you sit down and eat a whole unripe peach? This kid's fucking stupid.
If anyone tries to touch you in that area, quickly run away from that person and call for help.
Like this?
Oh, whoa. This video is we're in my garage right now. If somebody was outside, they could hear that. I wouldn't, you're making me kind of nervous right now.
Girls and boys shouldn't try this love until their hearts are grown up and they've gotten married. Otherwise, it would be like trying to ride a bike that's too big for you.
I feel like IMO, that's internet speak for, in my opinion, that analogy may even be more applicable to marriage.
Using the private parts too early hurts many people.
How does it hurt many people? What does that mean? That's very ominous. This video is not very detailed. This is not giving... I watched this video to learn what sex was. I don't know what it is. And I now know that having sex before marriage leads to some sort of curse on you and your family and people around you. So I can tell you one thing I don't intend to do anytime soon, and that's have sex.
It also hurts their ability to love.
If you have sex before marriage, you'll never be able to love again.
Jenny interrupted with a frown on her face.
But, Daddy, my friend Joanne's sister already has a boyfriend.
Really? Jenny, that's very sad.
The description says that this video puts human sexuality and the beginning of new life within the context of the family and the love that should be present, plus warns against the possible dangers. But it doesn't warn against the possible dangers. It doesn't do that at all. I don't know what the dangers are. They didn't tell me what the dangers are. They didn't tell me anything. I feel like I have even more questions now than I had before. I'm just scared now. I'm frightened. Okay, did they want to frighten me? Because now I am frightened. I'm frightened for Jenny's friend's sister, who's probably going to die or something. I don't know, whatever happens whenever two people engage in premarital sex. Something bad. something bad's gonna happen. They're gonna be cursed. Their bloodline will be cursed. And that was a very very conservative video. Obviously, it's made for kids ages 5 through 8, which probably explains to some extent why it's so vague. If a parent can't come up with that explanation on their own, I feel like they're just kind of dumb. Also, this video is sort of reliant on the fact that the parent has already explained to their kid that the opposite sex has different genitalia, which is like, isn't that the most awkward part? That you have to explain that? It's not a very helpful video. I didn't learn anything. I'm just scared now. That's all I feel. Mormons are pretty weird, right guys? That's a funny gag. Here's a Mormon sex ed video. Maybe that could have been typed out instead of written on like a piece of paper.
Jack is popular in his school and has many nice friends.
And thus, Jack ceases to be a relatable character.
Yes, Jack is a fine young man, but like so many of our developing young men today, Jack has been tempted by an immoral activity. Self-abuse!
He was like, what's going on down here? And then, oh, okay. Self-abuse. He really must be beating his meat. That's a funny joke. If you want more funny jokes, I'm sorry I don't really have any.
Masturbation.
He had a little pause before that. The hard cut. Masturbation.
If any of you have been seduced into this immoral act of depravity, be assured that you can be cured of your difficulty if you determine it must be so.
Well, that's good. I didn't know it was that big of a deal. But I'm glad I'm glad that's a thing we can take steps forward on.
Let's observe the following guidelines with our friend, Jack. Never touch the intimate parts of your body except during normal toilet processes.
Don't even touch it while you're peeing. It's best just to let it hang out and just let the pee fall where it will. I think your mom can probably deal with some piss on the toilet seat if it's the thing that's preventing you from going to hell.
Be outgoing and friendly. Force yourself to be with others and learn to enjoy working and talking to them.
Okay, I guess we can just change your personality, I guess.
Use principles of developing friendships that are found in such books as How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
How to win friends and influence people. This is like one of those influencer courses. You get to learn how to be an influencer, dude. Joseph Smith was the first influencer.
However, if you are associated with other persons having this same problem, you must break off their friendship. Never associate with other people having the same weakness.
Who's like sharing this shit? This culture of like, here, look, I found a magazine with boobies in it. Let's look at it together. No thanks. I don't need that. Different time, I suppose. Maybe that was a real problem back then. I'm just glad that that's not the way the world works anymore.
You must get away from people of that kind.
See, now you're showing straight up titties. I gotta censor this video now because there's just open, naked, bare breastises in this vid. It seems to me as though the problem they're describing is that if you hang out with other people that are also like beating their meat all the time, that they'll show you porn. And then the video goes on to show you porn.
Just to be in their presence will keep your problem foremost in your mind.
Yeah, titties, you got titties. Yeah, titties.
For that is where it really exists. Your mind must be...
My dude's like, yeah, I like beating my dick just like this. Just like this.
Must be on other and more wholesome things.
Gonna make me jack off all by myself?
leave the shower curtain and bathroom door partly open to discourage being alone in total privacy.
He's got his whole right ass cheek hanging out of the bathroom. I feel so bad for him. I feel bad for any kid who took this advice. Either just don't beat your meat or just do it. And I don't know, man. This is so much. This is too much, man.
Take cool, brief showers and then get out of the bathroom and into a room where you will have some member of your family present.
What kind of family do they exist in? Where you can like take showers with your ass hanging out and then you're supposed to walk naked into a room and put one puzzle piece into a puzzle with your mom?
When in bed, if that is where you have the problem for the most part, dress yourself for the night so securely that you cannot easily touch your vital parts, and so that it would be difficult and time-consuming for you to remove those clothes.
Man, you know, hey, maybe just beat your meat and go to hell. I don't know, dude.
But if the temptation seems overpowering while you're in bed, get out of the bed and go into the kitchen and make yourself a snack, even if it is the middle of the night, and even if you are not hungry, and despite your fears of gaining weight. The purpose behind this suggestion is that you get your mind on something else. You are the subject of your thoughts, so to speak.
Did he just make like a mayonnaise and mustard sandwich? It looks like that's all that he put on it.
But uh-oh, Jack, be sure to reduce the amount of spices and condiments in your food. Spicy foods excite the libido.
He just wiped that off with the mitten. He just scraped it off. He's insane.
Never read pornographic material. Never read about your problem. Keep it out of mind.
You know, that is probably good advice. If you don't want to jerk off, don't watch porn. Here's the thing though. You're saying not to read about the problem, but you've made a video about it, and in this video you show full-on boobage.
Pray. But when you pray, don't pray about this problem, for that will tend to keep it up in your mind more than ever. Pray for faith. Pray for understanding of the scriptures.
And he just wants to masturbate so hard that he's grinding his peen into his bed.
The unnatural release of these precious bodily fluids begets an unhealthy effect on the organism of a person in the pale skin, hollow cheek, sunken, staring eyes, gaping mouth, and stooping body. If you have a lapse in self-control, color the day black. Your goal will be to have no black days. The calendar becomes a strong visual reminder of self-control and should be looked at when you are tempted to add another black day. Keep your calendar up until you have at least 3 clear months.
I feel like there's some miscommunication between the writer and the director. I feel like the writer intended for the black days to be the bad ones, and maybe the director intended for them to be the good ones. I don't know. It seems like there was a mistake there, or maybe Jack's problem is just getting worse, and this video is going to end on a real negative note.
In the field of psychotherapy, there is a very effective technique called aversion therapy. For example, if you are tempted to masturbate, think of having to bathe yourself in a tub of worms.
You know, if you were really into it, if you were really into like beating your meat and you thought of yourself in a tub of worms, it might just make you, it might just make you come. I feel like aversion therapy is not going to work the way that these guys think. I feel like if whenever you want to jack off, you think of being in a tub of worms, I feel like that's just gonna get the wires crossed. You're just gonna make people develop really weird fetishes. I feel like that's what this is a recipe for.
Eat several of them as you do the act.
Wait, is it telling Is it telling you to eat worms while you're beating your meat, like real worms? Or is it telling you to imagine eating worms as you masturbate? You're just gonna associate eating worms with coming. That's not good. That's even bad, maybe. I guess the internet didn't exist, so just how deep the rabbit hole in terms of fetish stuff goes really wasn't common knowledge at the time.
In very severe cases, it may be necessary to tightly secure your hand to an immobile object in order that the habit of masturbating in a semi-sleep, wet dream condition can be broken.
Do they think that whenever you have a wet dream, it's because in your sleep you beat your meat? Because I'm pretty sure that's not how they work. Also, that's not going to stop you from masturbating. That, a tying your hand to a bedpost, he has a whole other hand right there that he could use. He has two hands.
The joy and strength you will feel when you do will give your whole life a radiant and spiritual glow of satisfaction and fulfillment. Right, Jack?
Right.
What was that? He looked miserable. He's looking like this. He's like, fuck, I just want to jack off. Let's go over what we've learned today. Sex is bad, and masturbating is bad. And, well, that's really it. I haven't really learned anything from these sex ed videos. Like about I don't know what sex is still. I still don't know what a vagina does. Really, we're still at square one, but I'm more frightened to learn more than I've ever been. That was the video, that's it. There you go, that's the conclusion. Hey, if we get 20 likes, I'll do a sequel video. I know for the Zodiac one, I said if I got 10 likes, I didn't say what I would do, I just said I'd reveal my Zodiac sign. I intended, I have a video idea for it, and we're gonna do that in the next couple of videos. I also want to do another episode of the Nighty Night Show. A lot of people didn't watch it, but I mean, a couple of people, apparently according to YouTube, a couple of people subscribed because of it, and I like doing it, and it's sort of different from this commentary format, so, doing more of that might be cool. I have a few other ideas for videos I want to do. I have a few things rolling around in my brain hole at the moment. 100 subscribers, 100 subscriber celebration. 100 subscriber celebration. There we go. I also appreciate all the positive comments and stuff. That's pretty cool to see. I mean, it's mostly on the Russell Hartley video because that's the one that has done the best out of all of the videos. But I've also got them on other videos, and I appreciate them. It's pretty cool. I don't usually have anything to say, so I sort of just like the comment. I sort of like all the comments, I guess. I heart all of them, but I read them all, obviously, because I don't get very many of them. So I appreciate that. Like, comment, subscribe, and stuff, I guess. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's probably going to be a little bit longer than the average video, so I guess that's why it's the 100 subscriber special, so it's longer. I'll probably make a sequel even if it doesn't get 20 likes, but if it does get 20 likes, then I'll make sure to prioritize that. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.